Hello there, everyone. My name's the Andrada, and welcome to episode 1 of our All the Mods 9 to the Sky Let's Play series. Let's dive right on in. Welcome back, my friends, to episode 1 of our All the Mods 9 to the Sky Let's Play series, where today we are starting All the Mods 9 to the Sky. All the Mods 9 to the Sky is the cap off to the trilogy of Sky packs for All the Mods. The All the Mods team has taken the feedback from the first 2 iterations to make this pack the best one that they have to offer. Includes adding mods which are not in the previous ones, such as Forcecraft, Forgiving Void, Oreberries, Utilitarian, and a whole bunch of other mods. And they are hoping to make this the most open-ended All the Mods pack that they have ever created. If you followed along with the series, I played All the Mods 7 to the Sky, All the Mods 6 to the Sky. I can't remember which one it was, but I played through that whole pack. I absolutely loved it, and yeah, I'm excited to play All the Mods 9 to the Sky. I love me a nice Skyblock pack, and I'm ready to dive on in. Now, you may be saying, but the Andrada, you've been playing Uncharted Expeditions. Why are you all of a sudden switching to All the Mods 9 to the Sky? Well, I'm not stopping playing Uncharted Expeditions. That will continue on the channel. We're just going to be playing both concurrently. All the Mods 9 to the Sky is going to release Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Uncharted Expeditions will come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we'll play both packs concurrently, so that way, you know, I can play both and have fun and jump on the hype train of All the Mods 9 to the Sky while still being able to continue on in Uncharted Expeditions. So let's get our world set up and everything. This is going to be the Andrada's Let's Play, Survival, everything normal, world type Skyblock. We're going to leave it alone. Seed, we'll say the Andrada ATM9 TTS LP, something like that. Yeah. Everything else normal. We'll just leave it all default and we'll create our new world, and I'll see you on the inside. All right, and we have started up our world and everything, and we spawn on the spawn island that says do not build here. Absolutely not where you want to build. Type /Skyblock GUI to choose an island. I do notice that we have an ability bottle over here, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. Ability bottle is a fantastic mod that allows you to, store abilities that you can get from mods. So like if we go to, I think the mod is called Everlasting Abilities. Yeah, we can get these little totems, and inside of these totems they have just different abilities and stuff that you can get, and it looks like it comes with Bone Mealer 1. So we automatically bone meal the area by picking up that ability bottle, which, yeah. Do we have to equip it to ourselves? I noticed that it does give me 14 levels of experience automatically. So I'm going to assume that it's intended for me to equip this so that I bone meal things as I go by, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, so this is our spawn island, and we have to type this command in order to build our skyblock and choose our island. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. It's going to have us create a team. So we're going to call this the Andrada's team. And we have different islands that we can pick from. So we have the Cozy Cottage. We have Anarchy, and you get a nice little representation of them over here. You get the Classical, you get the Direwolf, and you get the Cozy Cottage. Let's go ahead and check each one of these out and see which one it is that we are going to want to pick. So for the Anarchy Skyblock, we get this very simple, just plain tree with a block of dirt and a bedrock. For the Classical Skyblock, we get a nice tree with a bunch of dirt and some torches, just a little bit more of an expansion. Maybe underneath, do we get any sort of blocks down here? We get some bedrock, but outside of that, yeah, that's basically our Classical Skyblock start. For the Direwolf, you end up with this nice little 9x9 out of cobblestone with some fencing, some glass, you know, because Direwolf always does his roofs flat out of glass, a nice little tree and everything. And if we bust on inside of here, you end up with a nice little, you know, hidey hole with a chest and a crafting table and a bed. And for our final skyblock style, we have the Cozy Cottage, which comes pre-filled with a whole bunch of passive animals. You've got some nice trees. You get a nice little cozy house. some water already laid out. Yeah, a whole bunch of nice stuff that I think we're probably going to end up going with the cozy cottage here. So, based on that brief exploration of each of these, I think I'm going to want to go with the cozy cottage. Anarchy just seems like I mean, is it doable? Absolutely. Again, it's anarchy, though. Like, it's going to be a little bit crazy, a little bit challenging starting out. Classical, I mean, that's a standard Skyblock and everything. Could go that way. The Direwolf is great, and I love Direwolf. But I think the Cozy Cottage is going to be great. It's going to get us started out. First off, it looks pretty nice. I like the circular look to it. It gives us some passive mobs that are already contained, so we don't have to worry about those. Gets us some just basic resources and stuff. Just gives us a little jump start, because when you're playing Skyblocks, the beginning is always the slow part. And for especially all the mods, we want to get into all of the different mods. But we can't if we're waiting forever to get into things. So I think we're going to jump into the Cozy Cottage and let that be our starting island. So here we are. And jumping in here, we ended up getting quite a few different things. So what do we got? We got Ollie's Sword of the Skies. We've got Bill's Hoe and my axe. Love the Lord of the Rings reference. Me and the missus are currently watching through the extended editions, of course, of Lord of the Rings right now. But we have a axe with a mining level of stone with unbreaking. I'll take that. That's going to be great for farming things. Oh, and we ended up with no ability. Oh, because it's not in the bottle. It's on me. Do I need to keep it in the bottle? How this mod works, I have no idea. Does keeping it in the bottle what I want, or is putting it on me what I want? Do I just store the ones I don't want in the bottle, and then the ones I do want go on to me? I don't know. Can this go into a... It doesn't say it goes into a curio slot, so I guess I'm going to assume I have to keep it on me. Anyway, okay, so we got a nice little sword. We got some torches. We got a hoe. We got a watering can. Is that going to be absolutely necessary? Because we have the ability to, twerk to grow our plants. But yeah, anyway, here is our nice little island, our cozy cottage. I think it looks great. So a little bit of exploration. I like all the decoration being done here. Got a nice little swing. We got a horse. We got some water up there. Though we're going to make our own water. Just, I don't want to use that water, but we'll make our own water. We've got, some aminals over here. We got some chickens. We've got some sheep, some cow, some piggies. And then we've got a whole bunch of, wheat and all of that good stuff. An alchemy bench from Chipped. What does this do? No idea. Alchemy bench. What do you do, my friend? Alchemy bench from Chipped allows you to, craft just change blocks from one type to another. It looks like it's all amethyst. Oh, there we go. So we can just change from one type of building block to another type. So like a fancy type to a different fancy type, I guess. I'm assuming that, that's what it looks like to me. So yeah, we can just convert between block types. Okay, cool. I think it looks nice. And then, yeah, we come inside our house and we have a nice little fire pit. We have a sack from supplementaries. We've got a present with nothing in it. A oak plank that is just fancy looking. We've got the botanist workbench. Oh, this is actually a block, the botanist workbench. And then a cabinet. A nice little stool, so we can sit here and say, "Hey, hi, how are you? How you doing?" We've got barrel, chest, and a bed. Okay, there we go. To begin our mod pack, well, we got to go into our quests. It's a questing mod pack. We got quests that we need to complete. A lot of quests and things like that. First quest, though, is to go ahead and start out by collecting our quest book and then going ahead and immediately yeeting it over the edge, because I don't need it, because I have a button up top that allows me to access my quest book at any time. So I don't need the quest book, but I appreciate it being there. But anyway, we come into here. We have our intro to the Allthemodium, which is way down the line. We're not going to be worrying about Allthemodium or anything, but it basically gives us their end game ores that we can get that are super duper OP, absolutely ridiculous. But where we want to start at is getting started. We do have a tips and tricks section, which gives us some tips about some simple tools and stuff that we have available to us that you may not know about, like create a flight using EMC. Cool. Okay. I've never actually used Project E. I know it's a very controversial mod because it can make things very, very easy and simple, but I'm excited to try it out. I've never used it before. But what we want to do is getting started, like, right? We want to start at the beginning and get started. So if you want to skip forward, you can collect this quest, which is going to get you some lava. It's going to get you ice, sugarcane, cactus, and wheat seeds. And if you run out of saplings, you can pick up an emergency sapling there. But to get started, we got to collect our steak and read the quest. It says, don't fear, quests are here to guide you. Some of the quests have in-game video style ponder tutorials. That's pretty nice. We have a branch. We want to head into getting ourselves some logs, and we want to go ahead and get ourselves some cobblestone. Okay, so to do so, let's go ahead and chop down our first tree and get ourselves some leaves. Now, I do have saplings available to me, so I'm not too concerned about chopping the tree down and then ending up getting unlucky and not getting saplings. But there is a way for us to solve that problem for the future if we need to. If you did not notice, Vein Mine was in the pack. So you can hold the Grav key or the tilde key. It is next to the number 1 on the left side of it or underneath your escape button. And as you hold it down, it allows you to get this little outline of all the blocks that you're going to break. And it breaks out all the blocks. It's a big old vein, mining vein thingy-madingy. Okay. But anyway, what we want to do, we're going to turn these into planks right away, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a nice crafting table, because I don't have a crafting table, right? It didn't give me a crafting table? Yeah, it didn't give me a crafting table. We can go ahead and set this crafting table on down over, let's keep it outside, because we're going to be planting and stuff. We'll go ahead and place it like, I guess kind of next to the scribe table. I like that. And when we place this down, what we can do is go ahead and craft ourselves a nice little crook. Basic beginning Skyblock process. A crook allows you to break the leaves and guarantee that you are going to get more saplings. So what we can do is we can place down some saplings, because of course we're going to need to plant and we're going to need to grow some trees and everything. So we can go ahead in here and you're going to be like, well, the Andrada, it's going to take forever for these to grow. Well, actually, no, because I have that bone mealing effect on me. So it did not take that long to grow that tree. But we also have the ability for us to go ahead and twerk it out, twerk that tree, twerk it, and it grows. And now I'm swimming. But yeah, twerking is in the pack. So if we take this crook and we go ahead and mine up some of these, we will be guaranteed to get the drops and the saplings out of them, like so. And we got saplings. Bada bing, bada boom, we're taken care of. Let's go ahead and chop down these logs. We don't have a lot that we need to do, but we have a lot that we need to get working on. So I know those two sentences just absolutely contradicted themselves. But yeah, anyway, our next goal, we got logs, right? And our next goal, it said, was to get ourselves some cobblestone. In order to do that, what we want to do is right-click, shift-right-click on the ground. And if you shift-right-click, every time you click, it's going to spit up some cobblestone or diorite or stone or all of these miscellaneous items. So we can just go ahead and bada bing, bada boom, do all this, and we're going to get a bunch of them. Now, what I'm curious to know is whether an auto clicker is going to work, and it absolutely is. So if you have a mouse or a keyboard that is capable of auto clicking, highly recommend using that to make this a little bit faster for you. I bet you I could even speed up that delay and make it go even faster than it currently is. But one thing I'm curious to know, I think I've seen this in other people playthroughs of other mods. If you held it, okay. In previous mod packs, I've seen that if you hold one of those in your offhand and then you do that, it'll only give you the stone. Because as you can see, we are getting stone, we're getting granite, deep slate, and all that stuff, which we don't necessarily need. But with this, we can go ahead and craft this into some nice cobblestone. Now, one advantage that is in this pack is that we have the ability to compress our items. So you have a couple options in regards to compressing them. So for example, this granite. If I hover over this granite and I press the button K, it will automatically convert that entire stack of whatever into the compressed version. Same thing will apply to the deep slate here and the andesite. Now, the cobblestone or the stone, I have 2 stacks of, so I'd have to do it twice. However, I believe it's Shift K? No? Maybe it's Control Shift K? Or Control K? Shift K? Something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about now. I thought it was going to do the entire stack of them at once, but it did not end up doing that. So, hey, it is what it is. But that being said, we have now completed the first couple quests of our pack. Read the description. Being a skyblock, you can spam crouch to make anything, including trees, grow faster. Yes, we got that. Good. And we have ourselves our cobblestone. Okay. Our goal with this getting started pack, by the way, is to get ourselves up to here. We want to get ourselves to the cobblestone generator, but we need to work our way this way so we can start getting into sieving, because that is the main resource generation in this pack. So we're kind of working our way up this way and this way at the same exact time. So just like with most mod packs or most Skyblock packs, compressing items down and crushing them down from their cobble to gravel to sand to dust is the main process for getting all of our resources. Okay. So we need to work on going this path and compressing our items down, but we can't do anything with those compressed items until we get ourselves a sieve. In order to get the sieve, we are going to need to get ourselves some string. And to get string in this skyblock, well, we need to grow a tree and add a silkworm to it. Where do you get a silkworm? Well, it's from crooking trees, just like we were doing before. So nothing too fancy. Just need to place down some trees and twerk it out, and then hopefully if I crook these up, I will end up getting a worm. That's what we need, is a worm. So let's go ahead and break these. And did we get a worm? We did not get a worm. So we're just gonna have to keep doing that until we end up getting it. Luckily, I mean, it gets us you're a bone crook. I was trying to see if there's any sort of other type of crook. Can we get the, I know some mod packs have a crook, like a combined crook where you can like 9x9 them and you can get more than one crook out of it. Let's do that. Maybe this way we'll get a silkworm. There we go. There's the little crunchy guy. Oh, hello. Oh, a creeper too. I need to chunk load this. I'm about to blow my base up. Nope, move. Oh, are you kidding? I took too long. I got stuck on this table. Okay. Well, I have a hole. But let's solve this problem by claiming these chunks. So now creeper explosions don't count. And we got to figure out how to fill this hole in because we have no dirt. And that's unfortunate. I guess let's go ahead and sleep through this night since we are spawning mobs. The base is... Nope, there's monsters nearby. Base is not lit up enough. Granted, I do have torches to be able to solve that problem, but like, do I want to? Am I going to have much choice? I'm not sure. Get over here. I don't know where that zombie's at. Oh, another creeper. Luckily, now ain't nothing going to happen with that creeper. Where's the zombie at? It says there's a zombie. Is he on the roof or something? Hello? Okay. Well, zombie's there and it won't let me sleep, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and just chop down these trees then. And we'll deal with the zombie and the giant hole in our base at another point in time. Got to figure out how we can make some dirt. But anyway, we got our worm, which is what we wanted. So now let's go ahead and plant some more trees and turn this worm into... Aw, man, you kidding? I had to grow a short tree. You messed up my twerking. Oh, I turned on sticky keys. No. Okay. Anyway, back to where we were. Let's go ahead and take this worm and pop it on our tree. And you're going to see now that it has progress. The tree is now going to be slowly converting. You can see it turning into a light color. And once this hits 100%, it's going to then start spreading to the other leaves of this tree as it goes eventually. It's probably doing the one underneath there. But over time, it's going to infest this entire tree, which is what we are here for. So, yep, there we go. See, it's infesting the tree. So we'll let that continue on, and we will continue down towards this path, where I'm going to go ahead and just make ourselves a bunch of cobble so that we can start working towards getting all of these resources. This quest tells us that we can compress them to make it easier for us to be able to crush them. In order to crush them, though, we are going to need to make ourselves a nice big old hammer, specifically a 9x9 hammer. So if we take a look at hammer, we're going to want to go ahead and get ourselves the compressed stone hammer, which is 9 stone hammers, which we should almost be able to do. We can get 6 of them, but we need a total of 3 more. So while this is spreading and it starts going pretty quick, I'm going to go ahead and get us some cobble and we'll be back. All right. It looks like our tree is sufficiently infested. Let me go ahead and make a couple more of these. No, that was actually, I didn't realize you could do that with logs, but that's okay. Let me make a couple more of these. 1, 2, 3, and then I should be able to make myself the compressed version of this. So that way we have that available. A couple more mobs that spawn. So I ended up getting some Inferium Essence, and there was actually some spiders. So I ended up getting some string from them. But outside of that, this is the standard way of getting yourself your string. So we can go ahead and crook that, and we end up with, well, string. We should have more crooks. I am not a crook. Okay, cool. So now we can go ahead and get rid of these trees. And with that, we have the ability to get ourselves into our sieves. Okay, so we pop into our quest book, pop over here, bam, we got some quests. We got hammers. We've got the compressed hammer. Let's go ahead and get that quest completed. So we can do something like that. And then we can balance the grid. And then we can convert all of that over. So now we have 6 compressed cobblestone. So that takes care of that. Gets us some sand and some gravel, which is nice. And it gets us an efficiency 3 book. I'm going to hold off on picking up the book, mainly because inventory space inside of our base is not going the greatest. So yeah, anyway. So if we go ahead and uncompress this, we can get the quest completion for the gravel. Then we can compress it again. And then we can do the same for sand. Yep. Compress it again. And then I think there's going to be one for dust, but we'll handle the dust in a moment. But that's going to get us some more gravel and get us some more sand, which is nice. Not a ton of it, but enough of it that we can utilize it. So what we want to do now with this is go ahead and take our resources. And these petals look very nice, but I don't necessarily need them. Can you convert over to pink dye? Yeah, at least you have a usage. Oh, we got some more worms in case we need more string too. Let's go ahead and pop these into one of these chests. Honestly, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Worms, good. Okay. So with that, we have the ability now for us to be able to go ahead and craft our sieves. And we're going to go ahead and just grab oak sieves and our mesh and begin getting our resources set up. So the sieves pretty cheap, nothing too crazy going on there recipe-wise. We just need to get some of those, and then we need to get some of these. And if we take a look at the quests, actually, it does recommend that we can make them larger. It's our most common method of gathering resources, and most materials are gathered through sieving. You can also sieve blocks 25 at a time by making 25 oak sieves and placing them in a 5x5. Right-clicking the middle sieve with the item you want to sieve will use 25 instead of 1. Each of them would need a mesh. I don't think we're going to go that crazy. We'll probably just go like a 3x3 and get 9 sieves if we can. What are we short on for this? Some more planks. And then that way we can, we'll have 9 of them going. I think that's going to be a good idea ultimately. Now, granted, we did get this cozy cottage and it's great, but all the space is used. By the way, I accidentally turned on my macro while holding on to my cobblestone. Don't do that. You end up placing a lot of cobblestone. Luckily, I ran out of space for myself. I guess we're going to go ahead and place this inside because I don't see anywhere else that we can do it. This is our biggest area for workage. So we can go ahead and place those in there, and then we can get ourselves our string mesh, which we're going to need a 9 total of these. So we have 7 of them. But did I put more string in here? I did. So we can go ahead back out and get the other 2. Bam, 9. And if we go ahead and place these into here, well, now we have our sieves set up. So what are we going to do with our sieves? Well, we break our cobblestone. So we take this cobblestone that we had, the compressed cobblestone. We can go ahead and lay this out like so. Then we can take our nice compressed stone hammer. Now, can the stone hammer break? Does it count as a... Nope. It doesn't look like it counts as a regular block. Anyway, we can come over here. Nice thing is we can vein mine all of these, and we can break this. And it will turn all 6 of those, which should be 54 gravel. Granted, we have 4 gravel right now, so we should end up with a total of 58 gravel. 58 gravel. Hey, there we go. We can go ahead and compress all of that up. And then we can turn that into the different resources. However, what I want to do is check and see, well, what do we need? Like right now, what is it that we need to work with? to get going. The one thing I do want to point out is that this compressed hammer will not compress down the non-compressed versions. So if you want to do singles like the sand or whatever, you do still need the compressed version or the uncompressed version of the hammer. So something to keep in mind there. But with that gets us our dust and these basic resources, which allows us to now start getting into our sieving, which allows us to start getting into right-clicking dirt with these seeds. Will cause it to turn into mycelium. We're going to need that, I'm assuming, for witch water. And what do we need flint for? Oh, our first mesh upgrade. Okay, so we're going to need flint in order to get our first mesh upgrade, which should honestly be pretty easy. Yeah. Can't we... Recipe, usage. Isn't there a... I swear that I have seen somewhere before somebody use the cutting board with a shovel and then use that to help get the flint because it just makes breaking it easier, right? Like if we do this and we get ourselves a nice shovel. Yeah, we can even go. Let's go fancy. Let's get a stone shovel. Ooh. We do this with our gravel and we swap hands. We do this. It's not going to utilize the gravel unless it gets turned into flint. So the only thing it's using is the durability there. We ended up with one flint already, but it's basically like mining up the flint. And if I vein mine, or I macro it, it's going to go even faster. And actually, it doesn't use the gravel up at all. It's literally only using the durability for this. I guess flint is a secondary output when you are mining. I thought it replaced the thing. Oh, and our stone tool is broken, but it doesn't disappear. Does that mean we can repair it? Oh, well, that's pretty nifty. We can actually repair our items directly. I like that. Okay, and we ended up with 11 flint, so we can actually go ahead and we could even upgrade our meshes in there if we so chose to immediately. What do we need shears for? I guess that's a good question. Flint shears. That's going to be for getting ourselves leaves so we can actually make water. Okay, let's go ahead and sieve up some stuff and see what we got. So if we take our gravel and we take a look at the usage on this and we find the sieve, and you know what? It's probably easier to get the sieve and then hit the usage on this. To see what we get and then find the gravel because there's probably going to be less recipes here. So we can sieve end stone, we can sieve sand, we can sieve gravel. So gravel with the string mesh is going to get us flint. It's going to get us coal at a 20% and a 10% chance. And then we have a 10% chance of some of these other things, some iron, copper, all the way up through osmium. And then our chance gets lower and lower as we go. However, if we upgrade to a flint mesh, it increases the chances of getting all of these different things and adds dripstone into the mix. If we upgrade to iron, then we can start getting diamond and emeralds. Gold gets us gold, and then diamond gets us... It looks like the gold gets us all of the resources, but it makes it so that coal has a higher chance. Actually, that just gets us gold, raw gold. So it looks like the meshes have a different variability on the percentage chance of getting the items. So like, for example, if we look at the gold and the diamond, you'd think that diamond or netherite would be the absolute best that you could get. But with the netherite, it makes it so that our coal chance is only 6%, whereas with the gold, our coal chance is 20%. So if you need coal, you'd want to use a gold mesh over a netherite mesh. So that's good to know. So we have gravel, soul sands. I'm looking for like sand and dust. Dust gets us gems and redstones and stuff. And then dirt can get us foods and deep slate. And there's our sand. Okay, so the general three, gravel, sand, and dust are the things that we are going to want to sieve. So let's pop on into our sieving area. We have our meshes set up and we have some gravel. So we can go ahead and if we right click on these, it will sieve. Now, can we do this? Yes, we absolutely can use our vein miner to help us out. Or I mean our, not vein miner, our, what's it called? Macro to help us out. Okay. Let's go ahead and man, we have a lot of junk and I have no organized inventory at all. I need to figure out setting up inventory. Let's keep these logs and get us some sort of inventory sorting going on here in a minute. Yeah, let's just shove all this stuff in there. Sure. Give me your loot. All my loot. Thank you. But with that, we ended up with a bunch of chunks. I don't like how dark it is, so we're going to go ahead and sleep through the night. And maybe I need to adjust my brightness too. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at video settings. And our brightness, 100%. Much better for recording. There we go. Now you guys can probably see things a little bit better. And now that you guys can finally see what's going on, I think I'm going to end the episode right about here. So we got our sieves going in between episodes. I'll go ahead and sieve up some stuff and get us some resources going. Also take care of our storage problem that we got going on because, well, things are just a little bit everywhere right now. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, right? That's just the way that it works inside these Skyblocks and everything. I'm trying to fix this hole too, though I got to figure out where to get dirt from and everything. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, tips, tricks, suggestions, anything like that, feel free to leave them down there in the comments. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.